So I got the starter back from the repair shop. The problem I was having was every time I'd go to hit the key, the starter would miss the ring gear. It wouldn't engage, and probably you do that 10 times, on the 11th time it might turn the tractor over. Kind of frustrating. This is a piece that was taken out of the starter and replaced. The starter drive, as you can see, it's been wearing on the end of that nose cone. So that's been all replaced, so now we should have good positive starter engagement. Did a nice job, painted it all up. Should look nice on the tractor. I took the radiator and I cleaned it all out best I could, and I tested it, made sure there was no leaks in it, and I painted it up, made it look a little nicer. Got that installed after I checked for power steering leaks. There's none to be seen. I did have to put a new O-ring on the back of the feed for the power steering pump. Got the fan shroud all painted up nice. Got the new upper radiator hose in there. So we're getting to the point now, it's starting to look more like a tractor. Also, I got the starter back on the tractor, looks pretty good. And I am waiting for some new battery cables because the ones that I had on there had really crappy ends. So those are going to be replaced. So I finally broke down and bought some new battery cables. These original ones here they feature these wonderful repair ends that no matter how tight you get them, they don't really tighten down around the cable themselves. So those are always a problem, and I don't ever recommend putting these on anything unless it's just getting you out of a pinch somewhere, to get you out of a field or out of a barn. So anyway, whenever I bought this tractor, these were on the cables already, and so I had to mess with these just to try to get it turning over, and I had to actually strip back like 1.5 inches of wiring and just kind of clean these up and reuse them just to get the tractor home. So now that I've got it home, I splurged a little bit and I got some nice 2-gauge wire with some nice crimped connectors on there, so I shouldn't be losing any voltage or amperage through these things. 2-gauge compared to, what was this, 4-gauge, I think, so we're close to double the size of the wiring, so that should give her a nice healthy rate of amperage at that starter, so that'll be nice on there. Alright guys, so here's a carburetor after I got it all rebuilt. There's plenty of videos online if you guys really want to see this thing rebuilt. I took quite a little bit of time, but got new bowl gaskets on it. Let's see, I got a new sediment bowl because that one, the old gasket was leaking pretty darn bad. And let's see, I got a new air fuel mixture screw there. It had a needle and seat put in. I think the accelerator pump was actually kind of stuck for, I think it was just sitting for an extended period of time, and I think the fuel had gone bad and kind of turned into more or less a jelly kind of substance, and it was started eating away at the housing. So anyway, we got that all taken care of, and we're going to get this thing installed in the tractor and on to the next thing. There it is, all installed. Looks pretty good on there. Getting to the point now where we should be able to start this thing up pretty soon. Hopefully it'll run a lot better with that carburetor. Before, whenever I got this tractor, fuel was running right out of the bottom of this carburetor. The seat in this bowl right here, there's a float, and whenever the fuel level gets to a certain point, the float is supposed to close off a needle valve, so the incoming fuel doesn't keep running into the carburetor. And it was just open. It was stuck open, so fuel was just running through the carburetor. It was filling up the carburetor barrel itself and just running out. So it wasn't really running that great. So now that I've got that rebuilt, I'm anxious to see how this thing runs and performs, especially with that new starter. Because before, you couldn't even hardly turn the motor over. It would miss so badly. Probably you hit the key 10 times, and every time it would go zing, 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 zing. And maybe out of those 10 times, you get one time where the tractor would actually turn itself over with the starter. So we're getting to the point now where it should be able to fire up. Just got a few small things left.